Hey, Megan Scully, and this is the Limerick Post Show. And join me now, it is Renata Lima. Now, I'm so excited to hear about this documentary that you have put together on Vonnie Reynolds, Vonnie, Ireland's forgotten fashion icon. A Limerick lady, no doubt. And I actually hadn't heard of Vonnie. So please do tell us, who is Vonnie Reynolds?
So thank you for having me. My name is Renata and I'm the director of Vonnie, Ireland's forgotten fashion icon. So Vonnie Reynolds was a haute couture designer in Ireland based in Limerick in the 70s and 80s. And she was really successful. She began as a housewife designing haute couture, designing dresses in her own B&B in her own house. And then she progressed into being the successful designer, selling to Irish high societies in the 70s and 80s, and then also dressing the high society in the United States back then.
And how did you come across Vonnie?
It is an interesting story. So I'm a director. I'm based in Ireland, but I'm originally from Brazil. And I came to Ireland to do a master's studies in media, study cinema exhibition. And then the first place I ever lived ended up being in Limerick in one of Vonnie's daughter's house.
Wow,
So
oh my
that's how
God.
I got to know. I know.
And it's incredible to see that you're making this documentary on her now. So obviously, her story and her legacy struck a chord with you and you wanted to share it with everyone else.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it struck me because I've heard directly from the daughters, from Vonnie Reynolds' daughter, so Veronica, Mary Louise, and they were so passionate about their life story and their mom and their legacy. They were raised in Limerick, but the shop, the Marathi Cottage, was where it was like the hub for the haute couture design. And it was basically, they grow up in that environment, like working in the Marathi Cottage itself across Marathi Castle. So it was part of their childhood and who they are really.
So Renata, do tell us about how you made this documentary. Like, what exactly is involved?
Yeah, so it was a process. So since I got acquainted with the stories, and it was a process of getting the doctors on board. They have been really supportive towards the project, but it was kind of maturing the idea for a couple of years, doing a pilot, recording pre-interviews, and then it was actually came the time that we got funding from Film in Limerick and Innovate Limerick. So we managed to get this film funded, and we shot last year. Yeah, we shot last year during December, and then it got finalized this year. So we're pretty excited. And it is. Sorry, I got lost there.
And I should ask as well, who's involved in the documentary? Like, do you know her daughters? Do they speak into it, or do they more so just stay in the background and just give you information?
Yeah, so the documentary, so from getting the daughters on board, they were really supportive. It was mainly getting the funding from Film in Limerick, Innovate Limerick. And one of the things that we are proud of is that this is a female-led documentary.
Hey.
So yay, celebrating women in film. But it's me as a director, Melissa Calling is the producer, and we all have the contributors. So they are all women, very empowered women. So we have Vonnie's three daughters, so Alexandra, Mary Louise, and Veronica. And we do have our guests of honors, contributors, Celia Homan Lee, designer Michelina Stackpool, and also Lady Dunraven of Adair. So they were really supportive, amazing women. And and in regards to the daughters themselves, they were really supportive, providing family archive, family footage. So the documentary has all of those layers. They stayed more in the background, so I still had my chance to, put my own view into the documentary, but they were very supportive with family footage and archive.
I'm here thinking, I'm like, has anyone at home got a Vonnie Reynolds dress in their wardrobe? I'm sure, like, it must be like I'm so intrigued now. I want to see her pieces. Like, is there anywhere that we can see them? Like, will you have them in the documentary, or what exactly can you show us?
Absolutely. I'm actually wearing one of Vonnie Reynolds. I don't know
Oh,
if you were able to see it. So I'm usually going to film festivals and wearing all of them, like
wow.
the ones
Amazing.
that I have. And it's funny enough because, so there you go. So this is a Vonnie Reynolds label. I know,
Oh,
very vintage from the
incredible.
1980s. Yes, Marathi Cottage there. But I'm going to the film festivals, and it's funny enough because it's 2022. Many people haven't heard of Vonnie Reynolds, but the thing is, because she had this prolific, this successful Marathi Cottage shop, in Ireland, but she also was had some branches in United States. It's funny because you can find some of her vintage tweeds online as well, sometimes in eBay, sometimes if you really, right
Oh
now.
my God, that's exactly what I'm going to do after this.
Absolutely. So yeah, so it's not easy to find, but sometimes you can find it online as well. And of course, in the film trailer, you can find it on YouTube. You're gonna get a glimpse of her work as well.
It's absolutely fascinating because I have a huge passion for sustainable clothing and for having pieces that you can literally hand down from generation to generation. You mentioned she was a 70s designer. You're here now wearing one of her coats, and it just shows good clothes. Irish clothes like that stand the test of time. You know, it's absolutely amazing. I think we really should be embracing that as well. And as I said, I will be going on my phone after this trying to source a Vonnie Reynolds piece. Absolutely fascinating. It's absolutely incredible. Like how was it, I guess, creating documentary?
So it was a period that I had to mature the idea because I was in university and I started digging into archive material through newspapers. And when you go back, it's actually, she was in the newspapers all the time. So you can find her stuff going into the headlines, you know, dressing ambassadors, dressing people going to Ronald Reagan's balgons, or, you know, even going to see Queen Elizabeth in England. So she was dressing that level of people, you know, which is quite exciting.
That's amazing. That's so cool.
I know. And you were talking about sustainable, you know, because the clothes, like this is a ready to wear collection. So this is a tweed, but still nowadays it's so high quality that you can still use it. You know, it's wearable, it endures time, and it's also something that it doesn't look from the past. You know, you can use it with a jeans, or you can use it anywhere really, you know, so that's amazing. So I think that's it.
It's just, no, I'm absolutely blown away now by it. I think it's so incredible to see that you have, I guess, encapsulated and captured the essence of Vonnie Reynolds and the fashion icon. As I said, I can't believe at the start of this chat I actually had never properly heard of her, and now that we've spoken, I'm just so intrigued. And I know, of course, this will be screening at the Richard Harris Film Festival, which is very exciting.
Yes, it's gonna be so this coming Sunday, October 30th, and it's actually a very symbolic date because it's really marking the 10 years of Vonnie death's anniversary. It's going to be 10 years now. It was back in 2012, so it's really remarkable to come to Limerick and to bring this documentary celebrating her work, celebrating her as a designer, her legacy. So we're really excited for this one.
It's going to be so special. And Renata, we'll of course look forward to welcoming you back to Limerick. And we should remind everyone, Vonnie, Ireland's forgotten fashion icon, as you mentioned, will be screening on the Sunday, October 30th at the Richard Harris Film Festival. And then after that, is there a place that people can watch it?
So we're running in the film festival circuit at the moment. So we have scheduled Limerick and London actually in November.
Oh, lovely.
Yes. But keep an eye out. We have social media. Our social media handle is Vonnie Fashion Doc. You can find it on Instagram or on Facebook. And we usually keep posted whenever we get selected to a film festival, upcoming screenings. So
absolutely incredible. I love it. Renata, thank you so much for chatting to us on the Limerick Post Show. I absolutely adore that jacket. As I did mention, I'm going straight to my phone now. I'm going to see if I can get myself a Vonnie Reynolds piece. And thank you so much. And best of luck at all the film festivals.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me as well.